Dear all, I hope you all are safe and well. I am Gokul Holani, convener of NLIU Moot Court Association, and this is the third part of the Client Counseling Training Series. In this video, we shall be discussing about learning the client's expectations, goals and needs, problem analysis, developing a future course of action for the client, and fourth, effectively concluding the interview. I hope that this video is helpful for your preparations. In this segment, we learn about the client's goals, expectations and needs. This comes once we have a sketchy idea about the client's legal issue. Here we ask the client about his general concerns and his expectations from the case. We also ask that if the client has any additional considerations, so for example, his reputational concerns out of this particular case. Here, we also devise as to what is the relationship between both the parties, the client and the other party, whether it's amicable or whether it's hostile, to determine the future courses of action. So, for example, the sample questions can be that what are the concerns of? What is the expectation that you keep out from this interview? What are the concerns that you have apart from the monetary compensation? Or in case of a criminal matter, penal imposition on the other party? Do you think that you can settle? The next segment of this video is problem analysis. Here, you tell the client of what you understand from the entire case. You also tell him the legal and non-legal issues involved. Legal issues are something that client has come to you for, and while non-legal issues are essential to make client understand that you have empathy with him and you understand his problem. Here you also tell the client about the strengths and weaknesses of his case. You conclude this session by telling the client that please interrupt us if you think that this is something that not you expect from the interview. Once we are done with the problem analysis segment, comes the next segment where we assist the client in making the informed choice and helping him develop a future course of action. Here, first thing that we do is that before telling him the possible legal remedies, we ask him to list down his goals and what are the priorities of him within each particular goal. So for example, for a particular client, a monetary compensation might be most important thing, while for other client, monetary compensation might not be the most important thing in the case. Now, once you are through the goals and expectations of the client and what is the remedy that he's expecting, you tell him that which are the remedies which are feasible and which are the remedies which are not feasible, because there comes your duty as a legal counsel. Now you tell the client as to that it is your ethical duty to tell the client every possible legal remedy that is available, and the client needs to make an informed choice. So for example, here you tell the client about the remedies such as ADR. Here you discuss about negotiations, mediation, conciliation or arbitration, etc. So in this case, we have multiple options in ADR, that is negotiations or mediations or conciliation. You also need to understand that what is the relationship that the client shares with the other party. So for example, if the client has a hostile relationship with the other party, suggesting negotiation might not be a wise option, because in a negotiation it's the clients who directly face each other without interference of a third party. So you always need to understand that what are the goals and what are the relationships that the client shares with the other parties. In this case, if the relations are hostile, you should always suggest mediations or conciliations. Further, one must also think not directly jumping into the final remedy or conclusions out of a legal case, but think in a ladder. So, for example, if a person or a client comes to you with respect to a criminal case and he's an accused in that, so your first reaction should never be defending him or thinking about the defenses, but your first reaction should always be that we must file for an anticipatory bail. Now, further you need to tell the client that why you think that the option that you are telling the client is the best option available. So, for example, if you are suggesting the client an ADR, you need to tell him and put him in confidence why this is the best option available. Here you can tell the client the benefits of ADR. So, for example, it's a non-binding procedure, or you are in full control of the proceedings, unlike the conventional methods while going to the court. Also, in an ADR mechanism, the lawyers are just there to assist the client, whereas it's only the client who is in full control of his needs, expectations during the proceedings, or in this case, the mediation sessions. Now, you also need to ask the client and tell him that does he think that what you suggest is a good option for him, because ultimately it's the client's call as to what remedy that does he actually want. So once you and the client are on the same page, you can effectively move out of the interview. Once we are done with the legal analysis of the client's issues, comes the final part, that is concluding the interview. In this part, firstly you tell the client that it may not be possible for you to figure out the exact remedy in one meeting. You can very well schedule the next meeting. On here, you need to take a call on the urgency of the case. If the case is very urgent, the next meeting schedule should probably be 1 day or 2 days later, whereas it can also be a week according to your call. Now comes the second part, where you say that we have everything related to your case. Further, you also have information about the firm, and if you feel that the firm can be a suitable representative for you in this particular case, you can very well email the firm about the same. You then also tell the client that you will be the one who will be primarily handling the case, and in case there is any development or change in circumstances pertaining to the case, the client can actually connect with you at any point of time, either be it be day or night, and you will be available to the client. Now you tell the client that you are sending the client the link of the retainer form, and whenever the client thinks it to be suitable, he can very well fill the form and send it back to the firm. You also tell the client that in case that he feels that the firm should not represent him and he does not choose to retain the firm, the client will be entitled to all the documents related to his case and the research till that point of time. However, the personal notes of the counsel, that shall not be available to the client. Now you ask the client that are there any final clarifications to the questions that the client needs to ask? If there are. After that, this is the point, since it's a virtual mode, you can always be creative. You can tell the client that you have sent him the V-card or the link to your profile on the website, and he can always use that particular contact to call you at any point of time if he feels so. After this, you gently wish the client it was pleasure meeting you. I hope that you stay safe in these testing times, and please contact me if you think that there is any change in circumstances. I really hope that these videos will be helpful for you in your preparations for the 3rd NLIU Link Legal National Client Counseling Competition. We'll soon be releasing the 4th part of the video on post-consultation sessions and how to tackle them. Till then, happy learning.